LP Master 6, and welcome back to Kirby's Star Stacker for the SNES, aka Kirby's Superstar Stacker. We are again playing the fan translation, which I linked in the description of... we'll go with normal, because why not? Because I'm trying to get a high enough score to consider this mode completed. Now, according to the completion requirements, you have to get 2,000 points. There is not a real way to determine that in the game. You just have to know that, probably from the Japanese website. But whatever, we're going to do it. Now, if you get 1,000 points, you unlock insane difficulty. And unlike the Game Boy version, the game will kick you out after 9,999 points when the score has capped out. And apparently in the Game Boy version, it doesn't kick you out. You just keep going and the counter doesn't increase at all. But this is the way I like to play it. It's nice and relaxing. I'm not in a rush. You know, I like it without opponents. I tend to like single player puzzle games more, as in like, you know, it's just one screen, just you against the game. Like Tetris, even though I don't like Tetris. Solo Dr. Mario, but it's pretty fun multiplayer. I've never played this multiplayer, but if story mode's anything to go by, seems decent. But that's all I have to say about challenge mode. Our little buddy over here is Mr. Star, as you know from story mode, and that's about it. I don't have anything else to say. So what's up with you guys? I was supposed to be hanging out with my friend Nathan Smalley today, but I am just not feeling up to being social at all. It's a miracle I'm up for this, because I've just been feeling horribly lately. I've mentioned my tooth infection a million times already in my videos as of late, but a tooth infection will kill you. Actually, it will literally kill you. It's not just extremely painful. If it goes untreated for long enough, the infection will spread to your heart. So, go to a dentist, everybody, whether you want to or not. I understand people are scared of the dentist, but I was never scared of the dentist. And that's probably a lot in part due to I only went to the dentist once as a child. My mom is mortified about that. She was like, I should have taken better care of you. And I was like, Mom, I'm good. Like, my teeth are fine. Except for eating Oreos all the time and, you know, filling my body with sugar, blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff. And, apparently eating Tic Tacs until my teeth crack. Oops. But the guy said, the dentist, last year, because I had a tooth problem while I was recording Pokemon Yellow. Which I can't believe that's been like almost a year and a half. It's been a year and a half since I started Pokemon Yellow. And I still haven't done another Pokemon game. It just feels really weird. But we're going to be doing a lot of Pokemon games on the channel before you know it. Because 1998 is when it becomes an international craze, and that is the year we're in now. So far, 98 hasn't been that, you know, crazy good, but these are some pretty solid puzzle games. I really hated it at first. I couldn't stand Wrecking Crew 98 the first time I played it, but I grew to love it. And this, Kirby Star Stacker is one of my favorite puzzle games. I gotta say, it's really grown on me. That's just because it's simple and easy, I guess, but it's so fun to do. I don't know, it's relaxing, and that's largely in part due to the music. So I would just, you know, pop it in and play challenge mode every day until I decided to move on to doing round clear, and that's how I practice for this Let's Play. And my high score is something over 2,000, because I could probably get to 9,999. I really think I could, but I'm not going to because it's kind of boring. But I'm going to make you sit and watch. You don't have to, obviously. You can skip ahead or go to another video. Or just not watch this entirely, but if you're already watching this, I'm going to assume you're vaguely interested, which I appreciate, so thank you to whoever is watching this right now. I lost 2 subscribers when I started Wrecking Crew 98. I had a feeling I would, though, so that's okay. But, man, 1998's a good year, just you wait. There will be some great games featured on this channel very soon. Ah, God, I'm excited. What was that? Oh, I was talking about my tooth. Yeah, I had to call a regular dentist instead of a charity or health department dentist. But really, there should be an emergency dentist, kind of like there are emergency vets, where it's just, you know, you go in, kind of like a triage system, you know, like an ER has. They should have dentists at hospitals on duty. And maybe not all the time, but like at least 9 to 5, right? I had to go to the ER for my mouth because it hurt so much. And I've still got to wait, you know, almost 2 weeks to get that tooth pulled. But my father-in-law told me about a dentist that he takes the trustees, which are not inmates, but they're people in jail that do work for the jail. Because my father-in-law works for the sheriff's department. He said he takes them to this dentist 1 or 2 towns over, depending on how you look at it. So I thought, okay, I'll check him out, but to pull this tooth, it's going to be difficult, so he's going to charge me like several $100s, $240 if he has difficulty getting to the tooth, without insurance. And she acted, the lady on the phone acted like she was like, I'm really sorry, that's the soonest we can get you. And everybody else was just like, oh yeah, it's fine, you can wait. But she felt badly, she was great. And then there was no like exam that I have to pay for, some really expensive exam to go for first. He's gonna see it needs pulled and pull it, and I'm excited. So if you live in West Tennessee, anybody, I can recommend a good dentist, even though I haven't been there yet, so I guess I could technically change my tune later. Wow, we are progressing really slowly here. After playing on Insane Round Clear and beating it, going straight back to this slowly was just impossible. Because I would give up challenge after 1,000 points every day because I found it boring. But it ramps up, don't worry, we don't stay this slow the whole time. I guess I could have done a higher difficulty, but imagine how awful it would have been if I had chosen hard or very hard and then lost right before 2,000. I would have been so pissed because I would have to redo this. I bet this is... How long do you guys want to bet this video is? Well, okay, never mind. You can see it. What am I talking about? And the speed has slightly increased. And we get a change of music. Oh, I love it so much. And the visuals are so good. This is such a simple game. And I'm sure I'm not exactly positive why this remake exists. Why not remake, you know, Pinball Land for the SNES? That would have been phenomenal, but this is good too. It's just, I feel like Star Stacker didn't need this at all. But okay, whatever. I might need to take some acetaminophen. But I guess I can be done talking about that. But I was gonna hang out with my friend Nathan today. Decided against that. I'm just exhausted. I've been sleeping so much and it's making me exhausted. Because I've been taking the Walmart brand equivalent of Tylenol PMs to go to sleep at night. And I slept until 9 a.m. today. I normally get up at 6. So I would normally be frustrated, but I'm not doing anything today. I'm just glad to be doing this. I gotta go back to work tomorrow. And then May is almost over, so I gotta work a bunch because June is coming up. And the summer months are always busy for my work. For those who don't know, I am a delivery driver, like DoorDash, Uber Eats, stuff like that. So I do make my own schedule, but obviously I want to make a schedule that's going to make me some money. And I get to relax in May a bit, except that I had a tooth infection the entire month. So I didn't really get to enjoy my days off and clean and do a bunch of stuff I wanted to do, but whatever. January's been the best month. January this year, 2024, is probably the best month I've had in my life, my adult life at least, because I refused to hang out with anybody, and I just sat at home on my days off. I worked a lot, made a good bit of money until we got snowed in, and so I wasn't even working on LP Master 6. It was the least stress I've been under as an adult. It was so great. I just played games, finally caught up on some Switch games, and ever since, like, February ended, I've just been stressed out because I've been hanging out with people more, and I want more free time, damn it. But I'm doing okay right now. I feel good. I'm pretty much done ranting about wanting free time for a good while. I used to rant about it a lot in my older videos from just a couple years ago. But now I've got such a much better system that I really don't have to worry. What else was I going to talk about? Took my friend Galen, a longtime featured guest on the channel, back all the way from my very first Let's Play, Donkey Kong. Took him to get his driver's test, but he couldn't pass the vision test. He didn't know his eyes were that bad. He was going to use my car because, I'm a good guy, I guess. And then I went up and I was like, can I try the vision test just for fun? And she said, yeah, but you can't tell him what the numbers are. And I said, I'm not going to. You already know he can't read the numbers. And I guess they don't change them out so you can get somebody to just tell you what they are. I don't know. That's weird. Either way, we left and we were going to hang out, but I was feeling too badly and didn't. And then I just played Bowser's Fury on the couch, which I finished Bowser's Fury, and thus the entire compilation Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Not really a compilation, but I mean, kind of like Wrecking Crew 98 is. It's got a new game and it's a remake. Well, Wrecking Crew 98 is just a port, but Super Mario 3D World was an enhanced port. And oh, it felt so good. I beat Tears of the Kingdom, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, for those not in the know. Very good game. I've put 80 hours into it so far, and just because I've beaten it doesn't mean I'm done. I'm a long way from completing it. So I don't know if I have the patience for it, though. I don't know how I had the patience to mostly complete Breath of the Wild. I guess I was younger and had more free time then, but now it's like, I've got so many other games to play. I don't want to walk around hunting for Korok seeds, but I know if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. Because the game's really not going to be fun to replay if it's anything like Breath of the Wild, because, I mean, I've already discovered everything. I don't know, dungeons and stuff are designed better. Still not classic Zelda dungeons, but, I mean, the game's very good. The plot is not so much involved, but still very good. I can still recommend this game to anybody. It's much harder. The final boss was one of the best. It has one of the best ending sequences ever in a game. Very satisfyingly difficult, but not too painfully difficult. Like just enough for anybody who, for whatever reason, hasn't played it yet and is going to. I feel like I'm one of the few people on Earth who waited like a year to play it. But that's just because I have OCD or OCPD, not sure which. Because I still need to go get that diagnosed and get it fixed, because it's pretty bad. I have to do things in a perfect order. My order for a long time before I managed to free myself of it was playing every Switch game in a row, starting from the beginning once I got the Switch OLED. So I wasn't playing new games for years. Now I'm playing them in a very specific order. But, oh well, I'm having a great time. Replaying any Mario game is so good. I'm about to start Baseball that came to the Game Boy. How exciting. Because I've already Let's Played Alleyway and Super Mario Land, and I've played Mario Land a million times, so there is no point in me playing them again right now. If I've Let's Played a game, I try not to play it again. At least for a very long time. So I haven't played my favorite game since I Let's Played it. And I used to play it like once a year, Earthbound. But I think I can do without Earthbound for a while. Because doing all the research and editing and everything, I am exposed to the game a ton. And it's not like that makes me sick of it, but it's like I've had my fill. You know, except maybe Super Mario Bros. 1. That game takes 30 minutes to complete, and I can knock that out in no time. We are just not getting good combos. Well, I say that, and then we're getting good combos. Oh, they might be over now. Oh, no! Ooh, we got lucky. What is the max? I don't know the max amount of stars that'll show up. Is it amount or number in this case? I don't have a clue. Yeah, I'm really just rambling for this video because I don't know if anybody's going to watch this, but I want to make it watchable enough. And at the same time, you know, I don't want to just be like, oh, I beat challenge you guys, but you didn't get to see it because it was boring. But you can say that about the whole game. So I don't know what you guys want to see and what you guys don't want to see. For puzzle games, I often watch, like I did watch, I think they're called the D-Pad. I like those guys. They did every Kirby game. I don't know if they've done it yet. The only things I've watched by them are their Game Boy Star Stacker. I watched part of that. And then their SNES Star Stacker. And pretty good. They're entertaining. There's quite a few people involved. And I feel like puzzle games are best when you have co-commentators. But I feel like I always have difficult co-commentators. Because if they're not playing, they get bored. And, I mean, honestly, I feel like my stuff is better. I know my stuff gets watched more when it's just me. I feel like it's better for a single-player experience to just be me. And I know people, especially Galen, really want to sit in on some games, but they get bored. I mean, I used to let people sit in on single-player games they didn't even like all the time. Like, just go back and watch my oldest videos. They're not that great. I mean, I'm very, very obnoxious in them, but there's several reasons they're so wrong, which is why it might be up by now, depending on my schedule. I don't know. I will hopefully, by the time this video goes up, have started streaming, and the game I'm going to use as a stream test, I'm going to redeem myself on my original first Let's Play, Donkey Kong, for the NES, because, I mean, it doesn't feel right to have an LP Master 6 project that doesn't start with NES Donkey Kong. It's just always been that way. Except for the one time I started up the channel in 2011 when I was like 12 or 13, and I did Ball for the Game & Watch by using my flip video camera to record me playing Ball on my DSi XL. I think I even had my niece in one of the videos playing Judge with me for Game & Watch. That was kind of fun. I wish I still had that, because we enjoyed playing it together. Again, I really miss my niece being a kid, because, you know, it was like having a kid without all the stress, because I lived with my niece, so it was great. But, oh well, I may never get to show a child Nintendo games while living with them ever again. And that's okay, because the trade-off, if I don't have kids, is I get to retire very early, and, you know, don't have to deal with all the stress. Of course, I'd be wonderfully okay with having a kid, obviously, but still very, very stressful. I don't know if I can handle all of it. I make a good bit of money, but it goes away. We already have 13 cats. Ooh. So my expenses are pretty high. Yes, you came here to hear about tooth infections, my expenses, my schedule. Either way, I hope streaming goes well. I'm not going to pursue it for too long if nobody ever participates, but it'll be fun if at least like 1 or 2 people participate. Maybe not every time. I'm not even going to tell anybody when I'm streaming my first time, because I'm just trying to figure out how streaming works on YouTube, because I've never done it in all my years. I denounced streaming for a long time, but it just is not for me. Like, oh, I'm going to be classic. I'm going to go the classic Let's Play route. Well, I can do both. I think there's more opportunities streaming. I can play requests. I'm stuck in this little box of the main Nintendo timeline because if you guys have never seen me before, I'm LP Master 6, and I am playing every Nintendo game relevant to the original Super Smash Bros. And all series, first and second party series relevant to the original Super Smash Bros. In release order, so far including the Mario series, the Donkey Kong series, the Legend of Zelda series, the Metroid series, the Yoshi series, the Kirby series, the Star Fox series, the Pokemon series, the Earthbound series, and the F-Zero series. So not the James Bond series, because that would technically count, because there's an item. Now, I know it gets more complicated as the Smash games go on, but I'm not going to say anything yet about how, how the channel will work once we finally get to Super Smash Bros. You'll just have to wait and find out. I can't believe this is taking this long. I guess it's because I'm so focused on talking. I'm so sorry, you guys. This is more of a filler arc again on the channel. I feel like I've been having a lot of those lately with the late SNES games. I have fun doing them, though. These are fun games, even if they're not that fun to watch. I don't know if they are. Depends on your taste, I guess. See, this is the kind of stuff I would love to watch Nintendo Capri Sun watch. Or not Nintendo Capri Sun do. Because, I mean, he just loves to ramble on and talk about random stuff while playing puzzle games. So it's fun to watch him do that a lot of the time. I need to catch up on his videos, but I still haven't... Because I was watching my own videos for so long, and I've finally taken a break from watching all my old videos and editing them for offensive and stupid stuff. You know, shock value humor from back when I was surrounded by bad influences on my videos. And not that that's all just them, you know, that's a lot of me appreciating shock value humor and being like, oh, people should just take a joke when I say something ridiculously offensive, or even my own beliefs at the time, which were a little too conservative for their own righteousness, because I was surrounded by a lot of conservatives. I remember on my original Facebook page, which I deleted when I was 13 to make a new one for a more accurate age, because you can set it to being 13 years old but not younger. I had that I was Republican on my political affiliation. Now I have nothing. Except maybe it says independent. I don't know. Who cares? But like, I'm definitely not a Republican. Oh, cat interruption number 2. My wife saved the day. I did not even have to get out of my chair. Feels good. Except I'm really uncomfortable in my chair right now. I'm all curled up in it, and that is terrible for my back. Sleeping for like 11 hours last night did not do wonders for my back. And I kept waking up. I had alarms at 7 onward, and I just kept sleeping until 9. I snoozed them, though. So every 9 minutes, I would wake up, press the button on my phone. That was terrible sleep. I don't know why I always do this to myself. It's not like I had to be anywhere today either. Well, actually, I was going to hang out with somebody. That's why I did it. I only don't set alarms if my wife and I both truly have nothing going on that day. Sure, you can go over there. We're almost halfway there, you guys. At least it gets faster as it goes on, right? Yeah, I can't get over this emulator, SNES, looks slightly better than SNES 9X, which is what I was using. You may remember in Wrecking Crew 98, I was having a ton of problems with getting my controller to work. So I had to use the keyboard, but I have to use so many buttons here, I didn't want to use the keyboard. And I tried it again, and my Switch Pro controller was just lagging like crazy. And I can't connect it wired because of my specific, what's it called? My processor? I don't remember. Apparently people with my specific brand of processor can't get a Switch Pro controller to connect unless it's on Bluetooth. And I guess the connection was just so far away. So I tried SNES, and it was a little better. But now, I just pulled out my computer because the Bluetooth antenna's in the back, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. So now, my computer is just sitting directly in front of me instead of in my desk. And it's working flawlessly. So I guess I got 2 emulators to choose from when I do videos. Not that we'll be in the SNES era for much longer, but again, there are SNES games all the way to the 90s. I'm sorry. Obviously, they were primarily in the 90s, but there are some in the year 2000. Not 2001, though, but 2000. I mean, this Teleview was going on until 2000. That feels insane to me, right? Does that feel insane to you? That, like, here, it was long dead. By the year 2000, I was 2 years old, and I knew that SNES is, like, vintage history. Of course, I was 2, but... And my aunt still had one, so it wasn't that old to me. But by the time I was getting games on my own, the SNES was old. But the 64, now that was pretty new. It was still older than I am, so it was new enough. It wasn't old and it wasn't new. And then the generation after that was new, but the SNES was old. But in Japan, when I was 2, they still had all these services just popping for the SNES. It's weird. It's great though. Like, that's genius for business. I'm so glad they were able to expand the life of their systems because, you know, they were working on 4 systems at once if you count the Game Boy and Game Boy Color separately for a couple years. Well, I don't know. I don't know when they stopped making Game Boy games in favor of Game Boy Color games, but for still at least 1 year. They were working on 4 systems at once, supporting 4 systems. Because obviously the Virtual Boy ended support. They were still technically supporting the NES, just not making new games for it. I mean, they supported the NES in Japan until I think 2007. You could send it in to get it worked on. But then they ran out of parts. But that's insane to me. Because America just moves on so quickly. Why? And I guess Europe too. I don't know. I would like to see systems go on for so long, but like everybody after like 5 years into the Switch was like, okay, yeah, we get Nintendo wants to expand the definition of a console generation lifespan, but we want a new system, and I've heard rumors about a new system for years, and I didn't believe them until late last year because of the way they're slowly putting games out and haven't announced anything. Again, I really buy into the theory that they were going to release it this holiday season, but it got delayed for whatever reason. So now they got to come up with stuff for their June Nintendo Direct, and I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm excited. Probably won't be anything huge, but I'm sure there will be at least one thing I get excited about. I mean, it's Nintendo. I've never been fully bored in a Nintendo Direct. There's always something at least Mario related, so I can't be bored there. Unless it's like another Mario Strikers game, or... I gotta be honest, I'm not a big fan of Mario tennis games. Like, tennis games are never fun. Tennis mini games are fun because they don't go on forever. I like Wii Sports, Wii Sports Resort, Wii Sports Club, Hamtaro Ham games. For anybody who's never played the Hamtaro games, oh my god, they're so good. The Hamtaro Game Boy games are honestly some of my favorite games ever. Oh, I was obsessed with them as a kid. I hope I'm not too quiet, because I was a little quiet in the audio test. But, oh well, I'll live. I'm sure I'm good enough. Right, guys? Can you hear me? Comment if you can hear me. That's the comment question of the day. Can you hear me? We had another cat interruption, but my wife saved the day yet again. See, we're still almost halfway there, guys. Oh my god, I'm just gonna keep rambling until this is over, and it'll be a whole video. I want to check how long we've been going, but I'd rather be surprised at the very end. At least it's slowly picking up speed, right? Every, like, 200 points. I can't imagine doing this for long enough to get to 9,999. I mean, maybe on, insane difficulty, which we are about to unlock. Ooh. Alright, sure, this works. Oh, that's not going to do us any good. Never mind. I was thinking we were in for a combo, but I don't know. I'm a little loopy. I'm a little hungry still. I ate my corn, but I'm still really hungry. I eat a lot, and if I don't get my Oreos first thing in the morning, my whole day is out of whack. I did that wrong. Oh well. If you stack up, if you just let things fall for a while, I mean, you're pretty much guaranteed to get good combos. Because, again, there's only 5 types of block, and we're not even getting the hard blocks yet. I don't even think we've seen them. The kind where you have to sandwich them twice. Huh. Oh well. I guess I won't complain. Things are going easily. I guess I should have done very hard. I should have, or super hard, whatever it's called. Bum bum bum. I don't remember when this fan translation came out, but man, people had to go years without a fan translation for this game. And I know they can just play the Game Boy game, but big time Kirby fanatics want to play both. Especially because this is the better version. Oh, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh well, you guys want to enjoy some silence for a minute and be extra bored? Alright, that's good enough. I don't remember what I was talking about, so let's just move subjects. I've been listening to a lot of grunge music I'd never heard before. I talked about this too recently. I don't have anything going on in my life other than my tooth being infected, but my clindamycin is working wonders. So thanks, nurse practitioner at the ER. Actually, yeah, I finished Wrecking Crew 98 after that, but man, okay, I gotta say something. You men out there might be a little offended, but I don't trust male doctors very much. Like, I know women know exactly what I'm talking about because women get mistreated all the time. But every medical professional I've had that's a woman has been just fantastic. And the men just try to write me off. Not all of them, obviously, but they're just like, oh, well, you'll be fine, just do this. They don't pay attention. They just tell me what to do, and that's it. Because that's what a lot of men do. So, it really sucks. But, no, everybody I saw that day in the ER... Memorial Day weekend that Saturday. So yeah, because I recorded on Memorial Day for Wrecking Crew. Was a woman. And they were all really nice, really great. It was phenomenal service. And I feel like I only get that with men in the medical industry. And my wife feels the same way. A lot of people I know feel the same way. Finally, 1,000 points. But I don't know what it is. Like, I'm scared when I do get a therapist for my OCD, or whatever it is, because it's not diagnosed, that it's going to be a man. And then he's not going to listen to me. Of course, therapists are really hit or miss anyway. You know, there's a lot of them. You know, there's too many of them, and it took my wife forever to find one that actually worked for her. She had a good one as a teenager, but the older she got, the worse he got. Like, you know, he didn't know how to connect because he was better with family counseling and kids. And there's also the fact that he spread himself too thin and would cancel appointments last minute or cut them off just really early and be like, well, you seem fine, goodbye. We invited him to our wedding, though, because he was very helpful in our relationship as teenagers. And... man, I don't know. It just... I feel like... I wonder if in other countries, doctors are just all much better medical people. Because they're free. They're being paid by the government. They're not owning the business. So they're not greedy. Same with pharmaceuticals, you know. You can hear my wife yelling at the cats to stop trying to go in my room. Which I greatly appreciate. She's great.